Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to Magic and Miracles, where you learn how to be the magician of your life. My name is Anna, and I've created Magic and Miracles with one purpose only: to help individuals of all walks of life all around the globe, to help them achieve their manifestation, dreams, and goals. So important and true story. All information from me is below. Please understand that to be in my coaching, you first need to book a 1 hour session in which we converse about everything that has been going on. I ask a lot of questions. I give you advice, which, if you take and cash it in at the bank, so to speak, you will succeed. Upon conclusion of that session, you definitely need to embark on this journey with me of 2 to 3 months in coaching with me via my signature coaching package. All right. We rendezvous 3 times per week. This is the initiation into the Magic and Miracles coaching. I do it with this intensity only because I need to excavate your belief system. And this is no small task. We need to go through your history, the mama drama panorama, as I call it. Again, we will be covering a lot of incidents, processing emotions, redoing your beliefs, all of that unprocessed junk that right now is still in your energy needs to be taken out once and for all. Okay. I am a coach now for 10 years, 3 years on YouTube. Outside YouTube, I have a different practice, mostly in entertainment industry, actors, models, stand-up comedians, what have you. But 3 years ago, I got really inspired and really called to create a channel. My predecessor channel is linked directly below, and got to know a lot of you, and all of my day oneers are here. And this is a brand new channel. So great energy here. Big thumbs up and big subscribe. You truly are going to learn a lot on this channel. And so, through my own deep dive 15 years ago and through being a coach, I've constructed the signature coaching program and coaching for YouTube clientele, specifically for those people who don't have endless amounts of money, but definitely want to achieve the most results in as little as possible. So I always start out everybody with 3 times per week. Now, eventually, it has happened in my practice on occasion that the person doesn't need all 2 to 3 months 3 times per week. So sometimes it happens to be that it's only 1 month, sometimes it's 2 months, but whatever it is, I don't want to keep you in my coaching longer than you really need to be there. But it's really important to have this intensity so that you can shock your old belief system, make it uncomfortable, start examining things, start examining your mama drama panorama that won't let you be and live the highest potential. So this is essentially what your investment here represents in coaching with me, is the quantum leap to your new timeline. Really important. The timeline that you happen to be on today, as you're watching me, as you're hearing me, is not the timeline which contains all of your goodies. Okay. So don't struggle against it. Just learn your lessons and understand that this was also for to set you up on your journey, to set you up for your success. Don't struggle against it, that just understand it and then reverse engineer it to your benefit. And in my coaching, what we exercise a lot of is basically not exactly revision, but giving a different interpretation to what has happened up until now. And many times, if not all the time, people really misinterpret things. Why? Because they were younger, they were children. A lot of things happen in childhood that, as a child, you feel very vulnerable. And I deal a lot with people, women in particular, who had narcissistic mothers, because they resonate with my own story, and I share my own story of my own narcissistic mother and how impactful that really is. And so we go through all of that to help you achieve the confidence level that you need today as an adult. And so chances are, your interpretation back then of yourself, what you're capable of, your abilities, your value, your worth, was completely misinterpreted based on what was projected out to you by a narcissistic, toxic person. Could be your case, doesn't have to be necessarily narcissistic, but there's certain sequence of events, certain incidents that leave an indelible impression upon you. And that's what needs to be reworked for you to actually wake up to this beautiful revelation and epiphany that you are the golden Buddha of your life, and that you do deserve not just your SP, but to basically live in peace and live beautifully, as a fairy tale, forevermore. With this SP, another SP, if you want to manifest somebody new, your job, career, your passions, etc., you really need to live out this to your fullest. All right. So if you have any questions before booking my coaching, please don't hesitate to contact me. My emails are below. My email, actually, I've downsized it to one. And today we have a really juicy topic. And this is a real inspiration for the people who are people pleasers. Okay. And please don't misinterpret again the title. It is not meant to be manipulative, but I want to illustrate this idea again, especially for the people pleasers for whom it may really feel disempowering right now to be in your position. It's really disempowering because you're not getting the results that you want. Perhaps you've never gotten those results. All right. And the idea is that you are already the puppeteer. So the topic of today is become the master puppeteer of your SP. Now, the idea is that you are already the master puppeteer of not only your SP, but everything around you, in your 360 bubble. Now, I really shy away, understatement of the century, with this pronouncement and maybe perhaps even misinterpretation of Neville's teachings that everybody's you pushed out. I think what was missed out in that sentence is everybody in your direct vicinity, direct world. I really don't think it's possible to be responsible for every cuckoo bird out there on the planet Earth, or for every relative that you might have, or whatever. Just the people immediately who are dear to you, let's just say, who you do want to interact with, who you do want to change. Because, again, as I often say, some people are just not worth interacting with. They're toxic, they're narcissistic. I, always discuss how my mom is narcissistic. I've stopped talking to her. It's not worth my investment. You don't have endless energy in that sense. And you need to use your energy wisely. Okay, who are you going to invest this energy into, and how? All right. So I'm just going on the assumption that number one, this is not a toxic relationship you're in, not a narcissistic relationship, and that you truly happen to like this person. At the very least, you see a potential to salvage, okay, the situation. And this is really important, not to talk yourself into the situation out of ego, but to actually wish yourself well. Because, parenthesis here, really quick, if you're trying to manifest something that in the long run, or just really not even in the long run, but right here, right now, is not to your highest benefit, you're just, again, talking out of ego. Maybe your ego is bruised, etc. Just understand the universe is so benevolent, it's constantly looking out for you, that it will not let you manifest anything that will be in the long run detrimental to you. Okay. And you might not understand, like, it might not be your situation, but on occasion, chances are that what you're trying to manifest, you're manifesting it for the wrong reasons, and maybe with the wrong intention. And I want to really kind of like set your heart at peace, and remind you that you're really, really powerful. So make these decisions of what to even manifest, or who to even manifest, having spent some time to really be honest with yourself and say, well, why do I want to manifest this person? Like, really, just understand that it has to be benevolent, right? Not to get back at them, not revenge, nothing like that, but that you actually want to keep this person. Anything that you, quote unquote, puppeteer out there will return back to you. So, again, going back to Neville for just a second, it's like the golden rule, right? I feel like a lot of people, the haters in particular, who are into Neville Goddard, I think they kind of like forgot about this golden rule. Okay, don't do unto others if you don't want it done to yourself. So never throw out anything out there, or puppeteer anything, or create something that you don't want returned to you. So as long as you abide by this rule, and as long as you understand that, like, why am I manifesting? Is it really a desire of my own heart? Is it really something that is going to benefit me? And am I being honest? Now, this is something I cannot answer for you. Okay. You're gonna have to come to the state of, again, peace and tranquility, and throw out this idea that you're not powerful, and just ask yourself, if it was up to me and I can have anybody and anything that I want, would I truly still choose this person? And again, this is entirely your situation, and you will only know the answer. But I feel like it's a really important thing to mention going into this discussion, because it truly matters. And it's going to help you understand where you are and what needs to be worked out. Okay. So let me start off by saying that, first of all, isn't it nice to know that you can always switch realities, and that you're in charge of the story entirely? Again, want to stress, just within your 360 bubble. That's work enough. Okay? That's work enough. And to me personally, that's all the work that I ever want to do. Okay? But isn't it nice to know that you can always switch realities, that you're not stuck where you are? That provided you go through your mama drama panorama, understand all the intricacies of your mind, why you do what you do, why you don't do what you do, or what you want to do, etc., that there's profound freedom in just deciding on a new objective, on a new story, on a new goal. And that goal is available, already given to you, already kind of like predetermined, if you want to say it like that, already set up in your favor. Okay. So there's nothing that right now you're not going to walk away from this live and watch until the end, okay, for all the goodies, because I have lots of notes that hasn't been already created. So to me, like, there's freedom there. I don't need to, like, really slave myself over this manifestation. I don't need to twist anybody's arm. I don't need to do witchcraft. I don't need to, bad mouth anybody. I don't need to do anything weird for this to happen, because it already is mine. A real magician knows that. A real magician understands. I'm walking into this manifestation already being powerful enough. I'm already powerful enough to create anything that I want to create. So before, again, I used this enormous power against myself, and now I'm going to start using it in to my advantage. I just need to remind myself how to really do it. Okay. So it has to do with directing energy onto your SP. And this is, if I channel it exactly, and I'm going to try my best to exactly as I want to channel it, this is going to be gold. All right. As I'm sure it will be. So it's directing and holding the energy at your SP. You are already that powerful, that you are already doing it. You are repelling them right now. Whatever you are doing in your mind, whatever kind of situation that's going on in your mind, is keeping the things that the way that they are. That you are uncomfortable, even if nothing is happening. And let's just say you're comfortable in nothing being, visible in the 3D, but inside you're really peaceful. That's progress. But if you are not even peaceful inside, and you don't know what you're doing, this is kind of the audience that I'm speaking to, so that, again, I can bring some peace into your mind. Everything has to do with your own energy and how you're directing it. So getting a hold of your own energy, and again, coming from truth, like, what is it that you're doing right now? How are you puppeteering them at this moment in time? And be honest. And upon examination, it's infallible. In my coaching, people always come to these epiphanies, like, of course, no wonder that they chose a third party, because I spoke it into existence, etc., etc., etc. Now you're going to really learn how to direct this energy appropriately. Okay. So I'm going to quote Neville. So Neville came up a couple of times. There's this really beautiful quote that Neville has, and I'm sure all of you know it. You are already that which you want to be, and your refusal to believe it is the reason that you don't see it. Okay. So for some reason, you invested more in the belief that this person, this SP of yours, is uncontrollable, and you don't have any power over them. That somehow you are not in charge. There's no control over the situation, that the third party is in charge, or the SP themselves are in charge of the situation. But the entire time you're looking at them, you can change your mind and get behind the wheel. Okay. So that's already, again, a given. This reality is given, and your power is given. That you're that powerful, that you are already the master puppeteer that you want to be. Again, not in a narcissistic fashion, but in I'm empowered way, that I can create anything out of this person. I can literally manifest a brand new version who's going to be exactly as I want them to be. And trust me, I have done it in my own personal life. This is how I know exactly that it's possible in business and in romantic relationships. I mean, something completely magical happens where it's like a completely different person shows up. Okay. A person that lights up differently, they look the same, but I mean, same face, etc. But the aura is different. There's a different light around them, a different aura. Even the voice sounds different. Their facial expression is more pleasant. I mean, it's just like switch over completely. Okay. So like I really want you, again, I want to stress, I really want you to go into this, like it really should scare you for a second, like when you really download it, how powerful you are, how much power you have over your SP, how powerful you are over SP. It should really concern you a little bit. It should really spook you a little bit. Okay. And I'm going to share some things today with you that helped me in the past, that proved to be completely easy and infallible. Okay. Excuse me, drinking Red Bull today. So start out easy, start out light. I myself always recommend to start with something like music, okay? Or a list of, we'll start with music, certainly, okay, for the mood. Let's just say for the feeling of in love. So the idea is to create something wonderful here, for them to fall in love, for you to live out this beautiful fairy tale with them. So I would recommend to create a playlist. And the music is so powerful. This is so potent and so big that it could literally redo your relationship top to bottom. So right now, simplistically put, you're not in appreciation of them. You're not even in appreciation of the sucky version. How could you be? You would say to me, maybe this is a sucky version. True, but within the sucky version, there are elements that you can expand upon, that you can appreciate, and they will, manifest in a totally new version in which you will see more of these things that you really appreciate. So start out with a feeling, like literally go through songs that really you really like, and make sure that the lyrics that are in those songs are the actual things that you want to have happen. Don't listen to the sad songs. Don't, the yearning or the this and the that, the uncertainty. Like literally, I'm telling you what I did. All right. Again, 15 years ago, I did my own deep dive, and I refuse to anymore, as part of my cleanse, so to speak, my deep dive, to listen to songs that contain lyrics that I do not want to experience in my life. I had to stop listening to rap and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, for obvious reasons, I think. So the idea is to create a playlist, like when even when your mind zones out, okay, that you're, when like, how like when the song gets stuck in your mind and it plays over and over again, that even when your mind is on automatic pilot, that it recites that story. So whatever that playlist will represent, like I know for sure right now in my playlist, in my love list, there are songs that are like I agree with every single lyric. the mood of the song, the tonality of the music, it all really resonates with what I'm creating, and I'm keeping it alive. Like, really important, not just to direct the energy, but to keep it strong and to keep it there, to uphold it, to get, like, to create a world. Okay, that's really, really important. So, number one, make a playlist that represents truly that, this energy of, this is what my fairy tale sounds like. These, like, even like the lyrics that you would want them to say to you. Okay, so you can choose songs that literally would verbatim state what they would say to you had you had this perfect version. So you can put anything on them. In that new version, you can put anything on them. So why not, be completely bold and start real, I mean, you can choose a song like Marry Me, something about proposal. You can do whatever. You can do many different things. Whatever your situation right now, maybe you don't want a proposal. I don't know. Maybe you do. But whatever the situation is, to match the song to your intention, that would be brilliant, because your mind is just more susceptible to, like, a story, like a fairy tale, like for children. They're fairy tales for grown-ups as well, like if you look on the internet, etc. A song, nothing that requires, excuse me, requires concentration and forcing. That you can enjoy the song and you can sing it till the cows come home, and that represents your mood. Like, gently introducing a new world, a shift that right now may be a far cry, from the way that you feel right now. About, maybe you're frustrated right now, maybe you're frustrated with yourself that I'm not getting anywhere, etc., etc. Well, the song, or these songs, these lyrics, they will shift them for you once you start massaging your brain like dough, like you're kneading dough for a bread or whatever, and you massaging it into your brain, like, change of story. We're changing direction. We're changing timelines. We're changing parallel realities. This is what we're talking about now. This is the mood board. This is the storyboard. Okay. So, yes, of course, delusion, but not really delusion when you understand you're working with a completely limitless universe with multitude of parallel realities and timelines. So, why not go where you prefer, kind of situation? So, number one, and then a few steps of, so don't get carried away. What is number one? What is number two? It's all kind of part of the same notes. Okay. Um. So if you only knew how powerful you were, you would be using this for yourself. Just remember that, and remember to always go back to that. Like, if I'm lost, I'm powerful enough to change my mind. Okay. So number one, put yourself in their head. Okay. In literally, like, I teach in my coaching how to remote view, if you will, in a certain sense of, not literally, okay, but creating and observing. All right, but that's the word, that's the name that I gave it, remote viewing. I mean, you probably heard that, in the military, and in situations like that, they use it, to spy on their enemy, etc., etc. It's not like that, okay? Not literally how I said it, but it's a method, if you will, of observing a reality that already exists, and observing slash creating it for yourself. So you're observing a reality out there. Let's just say that you get into their mind and you're picking up on this reality that this person right now is changing their mind upon your instructions, to suddenly get into their head that they want to marry you, that they want to propose to you, like with that ring that I posted on my channel. Okay, the Tiffany ring. All right. So that's the instruction. That's what you're deciding. And Again, this is a decision, backed up by songs or some artifacts maybe that you have. Maybe you have their pictures. It's all of this kind of like creates the mood, right? But now it's showtime, and now you're getting into their mind of that version. Remember, you're only interested in that version. You're not really interested in any other fucking version whatsoever. No need to visit other Mama Drama Panorama timelines. Sure, they exist, but so what? We're not really interested in that. So you're getting into their mind. And again, it's like, provided you're committed and you're making daily visitations to that timeline, and this is a decision, you're not lighthearted about it, meaning like, I've thought about it, I've made up my mind, and so I'm going to this timeline and this timeline alone. And so eventually, it's kind of like when you're ringing a phone number, okay, or right, or sending a smoke signal or whatever. On the other side, the phone picks up. In other words, you start dialoguing with that timeline. And what happens is that you literally start connecting to their thoughts. You start overhearing, in other words, like what that version thinks like. Okay, what they're actually doing. And eventually you will get like this response, this feedback, if you will, that they're indeed thinking right now that they want to propose to me with that very fucking Tiffany ring. That they dream about me. They've been dreaming about me in this timeline. They've been loving me. They've been obsessing over me. I just was on in the other timeline where, I don't know, my head was up my ass. I wasn't thinking about it. I was busy thinking my Mama Drama Panorama stuff. But now I'm really connecting to this parallel timeline where they in fact have thought this all along. Okay, it's so much fun. I cannot describe this to you. I cannot describe how fun it is, because you're connecting and you're like, oh yeah, it's like in your mind there's made a connection, a resonance, and you start like literally knowing what they're thinking that day. You just get these intuitive nudges, intuitive like waves towards you, where it's literally unmistakable. Okay, that it's so easy to connect to that timeline. You've made it your home, whereas before you used to think of them differently. Now you are being on purpose. Now you're purposely choosing this channel, this timeline, this reality that is going to be the only channel, timeline, and reality that you're going to choose while you're thinking of this person. Okay, this is the version I want, and that's all there is to it. Okay, so number two would be hold that vibration as much as possible when you're directing energy their way and towards your manifestation. So again, daily deposits of energy that you are now kind of, if you want to say it, deconstructing the old timeline or becoming more a part of the new timeline, however you want to say it. The idea is that it took you some time to construct the old timeline, right? Let's just say it's already been constructed before you even were born, but let's just say it took you some time, let's just say, to merge with the old timeline that you're on right now. Okay, and maybe you'll say, Anna, you don't understand my life. It feels like I've always been on this timeline. Perhaps. Nevertheless, it takes you every single day to maintain this timeline. Once you stop maintaining it, once you stop making the deposits of misery, I'm powerless, third party is more powerful, this, that, and the other, this connection with the old timeline starts to cease, like day by day by day. And the more your attention is drawn to this new version, the more deposits get deposited into the right direction. You start now acclimating, like literally it's a new climate, okay, on the other side, where things are peaceful, things are in your favor, things are in agreement with you. And not for nothing, again, for people pleasers, I mean, it just does take some time to really get connected and get used to this timeline and really accept this. Wow, things could be that easy, that I can start feeling a certain way and direct my SP in a different direction. Yes, you really are directing yourself. You really are starting to pay attention. Let's just say how lovely they are, how handsome they are, how beautiful they are. Like, you are starting to become of a completely different timeline by starting to feed off of your own kind of, like, you throw out a boomerang, let's just say, I want to fall in love with this person, or I want them to fall in love with me. All right, well, both of us, we want to fall in love together. So okay, so what does that look like, this timeline? And so this is the wish that you threw out, and all of a sudden the universe, so generous, starts boomeranging right back all these ideas, all these thoughts from that parallel timeline. Believe me, there will be no shortage of inspiration if you just don't brush it off. Oh, this would have happened anyway, that sign would have showed up anyway, blue blah. Don't talk yourself out of your fucking dreams. That version exists right now. Listen, I recently, like, I'm gonna talk about a couple of things eventually. Okay, there's several things right now that I'm cooking, and that will be spectacular for you to hear and really get inspired by. But I want, some conclusions being taken place, and then I can talk, to give you the real story. But I'm speaking from experience how anybody can be turned around provided they were not abusive, for the simple reason, darlings, that being with abusive person serves you not for your own self-confidence. This is not the golden Buddha status. Abusive people are there simply for you to learn your own power, nothing else, really nothing else. But that, other than that, you can change your life top to bottom. You can change your speed top to bottom, like a brand new person will show up. I'm still, like, in awe of the things that I'm continuing to manifest. And as I've said, I will be speaking about them when they come to conclusion, where literally I'm looking at the same person, same name, same, I can't even say the same voice, to be honest. The voice is not completely different, but sounds different. So much more love is in the voice. Okay, so much more, like, and I'm talking about, romantic relationships, personal relationships, like friends, etc. Not so much friends. I never really had problems with that, but, like, business relationships, etc. Like, unrecognizable, simply because I've decided, you know what? I've had enough of the shitty version kind of deal. Yeah, maybe whatever. We all manifest shitty versions of people, but are you learning anything from that? And are you then deciding, again, as I've stated in the beginning, is it worth it for me to keep this person around? And if the answer is yes, if they weren't abusive, you can, again, do anything at all. And literally a brand new person will show up that I don't even know how to describe it. Like, it's as if, it's not as if, it's exactly what it is. It's as if the universe read through your script and delivered a whole fucking person at your door. And it was like, here, enjoy, kind of situation. It's fucking spooky. Like, the stuff that you write down, that you script, pay attention to what you're writing. Certainly pay attention to what you're throwing out there, emotion wise, energy wise, but pay attention to what you're writing, like what you're writing down, especially with a lot of feeling, okay? A lot of, like, desire, a lot of energy. Like, this is the magnet that's going to pull in this reality. Okay, this is the magnet that's going to magnetize that parallel timeline into, like, even if you don't believe it presently, if you write it out, the more, again, you massage your mind, not by repeating it endlessly, not like that, but by contemplating, wow, what if I did get everything I wanted? Because a lot of people, again, excuse me, don't ask themselves this question, and therefore don't allow themselves to even, like, touch that reality. Just, how can I explain it? Like, going, like, imagine the reality is a shower of some kind of an energy. Go into that shower. That's actually a really good visualization. I just came up with it. Go into that reality, let it wash over you, energetically speaking. Okay. What does it feel like to have this person now who used to fucking ignore me, was maybe rude to me, chose a third party, blue, blah, blue, maybe even married somebody else? Okay. Now, don't go in between the third party and them. But what does it feel like to jump into another timeline, experience an altogether different person that's available right now, tied with a bow on top? And some people will tell me, and I completely understand, like, Anna, it feels unbelievable. So what? Start with something. But is it pleasant? It's unbelievable. All right, I get it. And as it would be, because you're in a different timeline now. It's unbelievable to you here. But can you allow yourself to feel excitement even if it's unbelievable at first? But oh, that would be so great. That's all that's necessary. That would be so great. And just ruminate upon it. Don't shove it into your mind, but just start, hmm. And then think about what corrections you want to make of this person. Like, I don't know, maybe they have a beard. You don't want them to have a beard. I don't know why this just came. I mean, I hate fucking beards for one. Okay, I just facial hair. No, for men, no. If you want to come around me, like the facial hair has to go, kind of deal. Stuff like that. Okay, or maybe they had that annoying friend, or maybe they had a smoking habit. I don't fucking know. Like in the process where again you're starting to level it up in this manifestation, ask yourself, what do I want to correct? Some people really go, in a real adventurous way in my coaching and manifest really unprecedented things. Okay, now I'm not going to go into detail because details can reveal people's stories. I don't want to do that. But something really that bothers you right now, that maybe they have that fucking drinking problem. I don't fucking know. Again, that you really want them to change. Okay, and you really see it within them that there's another version that's could be magnificent without it, etc., etc. The most unbelievable things can happen. Okay, sorry. So starts out though with appreciating with already what is there. Again, start if nothing else. Okay, you all know me. I'm fucking vain. I come from a fashion world. I'm an artist. I'm very visual. If even if a person was an asshole to me and they're kind of cute or handsome or pretty, like I don't know. I just have like, you know what I mean? It's just a different thing with me. Like I appreciate them being cute and handsome, if nothing else. Okay. Now, if they were a complete fucking asshole to me, like I don't give a fuck what you look like you're ugly to me kind of situation, because inside you have evil plans, kind of, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, the ugly soul just cancels out all of that shit. But if even if there's nothing else to work with other than they're cute and handsome or beautiful and elegant, like that's good enough. And then take that and again, like reconstruct, like maybe they're not single right now. Make them single, okay? Like in my world, they're fucking single. Don't know anything. Again, it doesn't mean that you're gonna go and start like interfering and manipulating shit, etc., etc. You're just going to be a part of a new reality where I don't know, suddenly there's no wife, suddenly there's no girlfriend, suddenly there's no husband. And you're connecting to that version only. Just close your eyes to everything else, and this person is yours. Just, I mean, I've done this in my life. It's possible, even if it's unbelievable in the beginning. So start appreciating things right now and then build on it. And pretty soon it's kind of like you're taking the parts that are really nice about the old version and you're bringing in the new version's qualities and merging them into one. Okay. Now, when I tell you this version again will show up exactly as you planned and more, but I mean, and more, because again on that timeline there are other goodies because this person changed. First, they've always been like, let's just say you really wanted them to go on this spiritual journey with you, for them to sober up, for them to whatever. What, I don't know why sobriety comes up today this much. Maybe because it's almost 2 years that I'm not drinking alcohol. Hooray! Anyway, but let's just say you wanted them to to, which was really the best idea ever in my life, you know what I mean? But let's just say you wanted them to go on this journey with you, okay, on the spiritual journey, and you will jump into that timeline in which like that was their idea to begin with, and they've been studying, I don't know, the Bible or the law of attraction or this, that, and the other. And when you finally reconcile with this new version, they will tell you, oh, that's so funny, like when people ask, what are they thinking, what's going on with them when you're manifesting, when you're throwing out new energy towards them. They're the same as you. the same as you. Like when you start to listen to new love songs, again, make sure the lyrics correspond to your vision. I- It's literally they're receiving the transcript of that song. It's them singing to you. Like, have you ever gotten this? It happens to me all the fucking time. It's so fucking precious and wonderful. Like it just happened to me yesterday. I was thinking about somebody and the song shows up. You know, like the song just pops out of nowhere in your YouTube or whatever or on your phone. And it was them talking, like them telling me what I was wondering about. It's so crazy. They will talk direct. They will come in forms of songs, in forms of signs, whatever. Again, don't discount the signs. At first, they will start little by little, the signs. Again, let's just say the sign is, I don't know, the white feather, the infamous or famous, not infamous, famous, very famous. Look how many white feathers I have here, by the way. I can make a whole bird. I'm in the process of framing everything in my office. It's been a really busy year, so I'm getting to there. But I'm planning to frame all my white feathers. There's so many here and many other feathers. Anyway, so don't discount those signs. They're part of that timeline. Appreciate the fucking signs, more will show up. Okay? Appreciate them, appreciate the signs, and get into the feeling of this again. Can't stress this enough. Okay? This is the version that was always there. I just had my head up my ass and I misinterpreted the entire situation because I used to be part of the old world. I hope this makes sense. Okay. Sorry, one second. Oh, how are they experiencing? That's what I really wanted to say. So one second, sorry. Same as you. When again, when you're listening to the songs, if you're directing that energy, that's what they're feeling. If you're starting to think about something and you have them on their mind, they're starting to receive it. It's so easy to affect your SP. It's so easy to be a puppeteer. It's not shouldn't even be called something taboo or a puppeteer. Again, those are just the best words that I came up with. Should be just said, yeah, you get anything you want. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, whatever. You know what I mean? It's all yours kind of situation. So if you're ever in doubt and there's ever a question in your mind, like, ooh, I wonder what they're doing. I wonder what they're thinking, and I wonder what they're feeling. Just when you are thinking of them, like the majority of the time that you're thinking of them, like what is the first impression that comes up? Is the first impression because you've already done the work and again, like massaged it into your mind and accepted it fully that they're madly in love with you? They want to propose to you with that Tiffany ring. Is that the first impression? Is that the switch over that you've done? Then that's what the fuck they're thinking. I promise you, because again, I've had these experiences when I've gotten together with, a person, whether that's romantic or business, we were thinking the same exact things. Okay. And I know you know this from your own experience. Maybe, just maybe, for whatever reason, you're thinking it's harder here with the romantic relationship because it's something, again, you have a lot of opposite data. But again, in coaching, it really helps to examine and go blow by blow, like why exactly it didn't work. It's not that it doesn't work for you. It didn't work because sometimes, I don't know, darlings, it's just sometimes a little more challenging to do it by yourself because you're so in your fucking soup. That's all you know. And when somebody's there to hold your hand, let's just say a coach, it becomes a little more like you're able to excavate it and look at it like, why am I not giving it to myself? What else is there swimming in my consciousness that I just can't just like accept it? Just like, yeah, it's a done deal. They're madly in love with me. There's nothing else to do. I'm just going to let it unfold as it would. Okay. So now, all of this that I'm describing, parenthesis here, is a really big distinction. And again, this comes from the lack of confidence within yourself. It has nothing to do with the technique or with, again, nothing to do with them at all. Are you showing up to the table with the desperation and I'm powerless? That premise. Or are you showing up with confidence in what you want to experience and how you want to feel? In other words, have you had enough of the mama drama panorama to the point of no return to that timeline? Like you sometimes people don't have enough, okay? They really have to have enough to come into my coaching. I feel like more or less that's the story it seems like to be, that it's like I've exhausted the old timeline, more or less. I'm speaking for my clients, and I just there's nothing else for me there. I'm tired of it. Okay. Only in that way will you become more confident about in the middle of your shed show, like what it is that you really want. So in that sense, like really the shed show does serve you because you're making a lot of deductions about who you are, what you want, what you definitely don't want, what kind of a speed you want. A lot of things can change in your mind. You know, people change their minds in my coaching, like tremendously. I mean, that's the idea. So it's a big difference to make a declaration or to start to become a puppeteer from a desperate place, like you need somebody's help to make this happen, or you need to manipulate, you need to do some weird shit, or is your decision enough, basically? And that your decision is a really, powerful decision. Like you, again, you've put a lot of thought into it. You coming from benevolence towards yourself, first and foremost, that it will serve you, not your ego, okay? But this is actually something benevolent for you, and this will change your mind in a good way, okay? That it will benefit you long term, not just because you want to check it off that you're married, okay? Just want to make sure. So if you know how you want to feel, and you say to the universe again without desperation, like, I just had enough of the old shit show timeline. This time around, let's turn the page of this fucking cycle. And now, once and for all, I want to be in a timeline where, it's just the most magical, beautiful relationship where I get everything I want. And again, be bold, write it all out. What kind of relationship, this and that. We all, we examine all of this in coaching. But it has to be that you've had so enough, I feel like sometimes again, that you're like, you know what, God damn it. I mean, here I am. This is my life. Like I might as well get what I want. And I feel like this had enoughness like pushes you towards the good even more. And you're more, it's kind of like showtime, crunch time. Like I'm only going to dedicate my attention to this because this is obviously better than my shed show, but it's an intuitive thing almost. At least it was for me in my 20s when I would have enough. Like I would zero in on my goal so much with so much fervor that even though it was unbelievable to me at that time, there was this confidence in what I wanted to experience. Okay. And with confidence in what you want to experience and feel, you start, I don't know, you start merging with it. You start even believing it more because you certainly see other people doing it all around you. And you say to yourself, well, what's wrong with me? Absolutely nothing. Okay. So from a place of confidence, you go. And again, tuning out excuse me, anything that doesn't serve you. In other words, you are always going to be correct, right? So the universe always says yes. So if you say, like, sometimes women in particular come to me with a lot of preconceived notions, your toxic parent, mother, what have you, or somebody affected your psyche to such a degree, like to expect infidelity, let's just say, from men. This is just an example, but prevalent enough that I'm discussing it, to discuss third parties, this, that, and the other, to have all these fears. Essentially, it's expectancy at that point. But in order to experience something else, you must become a part of a new consciousness where that simply does not exist. Like infidelity, what's that? Once I enter the chat room, so to speak, like, no, third parties be gone kind of situation. I'm the queen of the world, of their world kind of deal. Again, not in a narcissistic sense, but in a really benevolent sense. Like I want to offer up myself this opportunity to be loved. I really want to be loved and cherished from my head to my toes. Have my, jam licked off my toes. Have the proposal of my fairy tale. Have this, that, and the other. Like, why the fuck not? Again, I want to stress, like, this is norm. right? Being victorious, getting what you want is the norm. And sometimes in coaching, maybe this will resonate with a lot of people. Like, people really feel defensive when they state their desires, and they say, "Well, Anna, I really want them to be faithful," as if, like, you need to almost like do push-ups to deserve it. It is given. You know what I mean? It's already existing. That version already exists. Now, listen, it has to be reasonable, right? So, if it's somebody who's like, I don't know, went out with 500 other women and literally abused you, knowing, and cheated on you like over and over again, like that crosses the line of no return for me personally. But if they cheated with one person and then, whatever, changed their mind, like, another story. You understand? You need to be reasonable in that sense. But tuning out all of these preconceived notions that, like, that's how it is. No, that's not how it is. That's how you made it to be in your world. And you're always correct in that whatever you expect out of your man, out of your women, out of your man, woman, da da da, they are going to do that. Right. So it's like, again, like the audio that I recorded the other night, I think it was. Yes. I was so fucking tired. It's the only time I will ever admit that I was tired, because I was really, really tired. Like 36 hours with no sleep. Yeah, I was tired. But I still wanted to record an audio for all of you guys because I know you were waiting. Um, just tune all of that shit out and understand you're the only one in the room. Like, your decision is king. Your decision is king, in that this is the story that's going to play right now. Like, a lot of you are old enough, right, on this channel to know, remember what vinyls were. Like, this is a new vinyl, new record. Let's play this record with this SP. And again, like, this wonder comes over you, like, this SP has always been like this. It's impossible to describe this energy that you will feel inspired to direct at them through, again, synchronicity signs, your own scripting, to as you're tapping into this energy. Again, it's impossible to describe it, but you will intuitively download that this person was always like this. If you want to say it, you misinterpret it. If you want to say it, well, which is more accurate, that you jumped into a parallel reality, timeline, even altogether, where this person was always like this. However you need to say it to yourself to shoehorn this understanding, but intuitively, there's an energetic download. Again, speaking back to you, like, darling, I was always this way. You don't need to try so hard. Like, this is the confirmation that will be, again, intuitively, from the universe, from your spirit squad, that this guy or girl, they were always ready to go. They were just waiting for you to get your shit together. All right. There's a really good audio on my predecessor channel. Your SP is just waiting for you to get your shit together. Okay. So it's so true. It's like you have the power intact right now. It's just, do you know that? Can you come back around to reclaiming your power? Again, from the Bible, one of my favorite quotes. It's not like I've never had challenging situations, which is why I am a coach and I can speak to that, where I constantly remind myself. This quote is like, again, paraphrasing right now, but I have the power to lay it down and I have the power to pick it up again. So it's mine. The power is mine. But everybody goes through things. Everybody goes through mama drama panorama. And sure, you need some time, and you should be graceful enough towards yourself to allow yourself some time. Maybe, I don't know, people go through shit, processing things, this, that, any other, whatever you're going through right now. Okay. But once you do, the power is always yours. Nobody can take your fucking power away. You yourself are just going through something, mama drama panorama, and then the power is getting picked back up, and now you can play. So when you guys, some of you, not lots of you, have come into my coaching and said, I've been cursed, somebody put a spell on me, this, that, any other, like, understand, if you are in agreement with this, like, you like declaring it almost over yourself, like, somebody put a spell on me, somebody cursed me, like, that's the only time that somebody can curse you. It's not real. You're just in agreement with that reality. If you say no to that reality, that person can do whatever the fuck kind of witchcraft, go crazy, build their karma out of the wazoo, You don't give a flying fuck. It's where energetically are you? Again, where are you residing? What is your home base frequency? And in that sense, nobody can do anything towards you. Again, follow the golden rule. Like if that person chooses to wreck their karma, I mean, to wreck their karma bill up, what do you give a shit? You know what I mean? It doesn't matter. Just you don't agree to that. And if you do, even if you do agree to it temporarily, okay, still doesn't matter. You again, I have the power to pick it back up again. Now I don't fucking agree. Goodbye, sayonara. I don't want that experience anymore. Turn the page, like I said. Excuse me. Okay. What number am I on? So, number three was appreciate for those of you who are taking notes. Appreciate them. Number four, design the new version corrections if you have any. And listen, it's worth mentioning in number four that if you're making corrections, right? Again, let's just say you want them to be a certain way. Are you ready to receive this version? In other words, are you mirroring back, right, towards them this expectancy? Remember, you're the mirror of them. So if you're not ready to accept it, like literally, like plug that into your system. They're faithful and loyal. They're loving. They're so accommodating, so generous. Oh, just the best I've ever had, the best in bed, the best, the best cooked, whatever the fuck you want them to be. Okay, if you cannot plug it in, just understand it's not them you need to work it out with. It's within yourself. Just are you ready to accept your gift towards yourself? Like, is it really normal? Does it feel natural and normal? All right, which brings me to my next point. When you in other words, this is a massaging of the most delicate kind. All right, it doesn't take endless repetition. It just takes contemplation and dabbing into that energy, and that energy world will swallow you up and take you there. Okay, you just make enough effort, just 51%. That's all that's necessary. Just do your part, and it will entice you and take you, and you will be taken care of. Don't worry about it. Number five, daily conversations with them. Now, this is really, really powerful. And I've spoken about this before. Man, listen, understand you are talking to them, just like you're talking to them in thought whenever you're not even careful. Okay, about what you're communicating to them. But when you are deliberately, I call these holographic conversations, right? You guys probably remember from one of the past lives when you are deliberately sitting down and taking time to talk to them. Now, again, I could be sitting here and choosing to have a conversation with this somebody, right? And it's really important to me to discuss this something and give them instructions and instructions and inspire them, let's just say, to do something. Or maybe it's just a conversation that we're carrying on now that we're married, okay? And we're over here married in the same bed, okay? But whatever it is, right? This is so important because you are communicating with their mind directly. Just again, it really has to spook you quite a bit, like how much power you really have over this person. So please don't take this lightly, okay? Whatever you're scripting, okay, the universe knows, but whatever you're speaking, when you're pretending, when you're acting as if, when you're acting it out, okay, this is why I'm constantly talking about like, how does this new version of you think or not even think, I mean dress, smell, what kind of vocabulary do they use, what kind of places they frequent, what is the majority of your time being occupied about? Like right now you're so obsessed maybe with your sp, like you literally have no time for anything else. Okay, but what if that was taken care of already? And what if the two of you are already engaged or married or whatever, in a relationship? Would you still be obsessing? So you need to start mirroring that version. Okay, what are you doing right now? And so what kind of conversation you're acting out a conversation. Now, let's just say a conversation could be so fucking simple. And again, it has to feel so normal and natural, which you're gonna get there. Okay. And if you can't do it by yourself, I'm here to help. Discussing dinner plans. Okay, discussing, oh yeah, I went to the store and this was not available and whatever. Okay, just as if, let's go into time in the future, you can say, into that timeline. So now that we're married, like, what kind of discussions are we having? Where are we? What are they saying to me? Hear them talk back to you, reply, and have these conversations and understand this is not just play and pretend. First of all, play and pretend, as I've already said on this channel, the most powerful technique. It's not just play and pretend. You're literally communicating to their mind, and you will have, if not a replica of that conversation, you will see the effect of the conversation that you guys had like this with them, the effect of that conversation or conversations plural in your 3D life. It will start to sip in. You understand? Like this new timeline that you're starting to invite here, it will start to merge with your old timeline and then take over entirely. All right. So if anything else, like the daily converse and being aware again of the kind of energy you're sending towards them. Now, ideally speaking, right? The majority of the time, it's obvious. Ideally speaking, you would be sending them love and good energy and goodwill. If you cannot do that, do not start any of this. Don't be a superhero. Take the time to examine, like, why I'm bothered by this person. The slate needs to be clean, which is why we process the Mama Drama Panorama. Only when you're able to direct your energy purely squarely like that will you see almost instantaneous results. Okay, so you want instantaneous results? I'm giving it to you. It's a build up to it. You cannot go around it. Don't frustrate yourself with million coaches. Just it's you. All right, you are directing the show. You're the hottest chick in the game, even though you don't think so. The hottest dude in the game. You're the universe. Okay, so if the universe in you has some mama drama panorama, guess what? You'll see it all around you. So don't go around it. In other words, process that and then have the conversations and the energy sent. And now I want to squeeze in, and I've spoken about this before, using sexual energy in your manifestations. And I don't just mean sex, okay? Although it's obvious, sexual energy comes from sex, okay? It's that intensity. If you want to intensify things, right? I have this on my predecessor channel, on this channel, the power of the climax and all of that energy when you're climaxing, but most importantly, that sexual tension, if you want to call it that, but not emptily. Okay, there's a lot of power in sexual energy. Now you can, again, it doesn't have to be just romantic relationships. You can use this in business, etc. And again, it doesn't necessarily have to do with sex. It's just this intense energy of not just desire without having the outcome. It's like, how can I explain this? I'm going directly to what I want and I'm enjoying it now. And in this case, it's obvious it's a relationship, okay? That, yeah, might end up in a sexual, well, I hope so, in a sexual intercourse. So it's more than appropriate to use sexual energy when building on it if you want to intensify it. In other words, when I'm thinking of this someone, if I was to manifest somebody differently or manifest them back or manifest them to say something, an apology, this and that, once I process my mama drama panorama and I'm able to use this purely, because some people have reported back to me, not in my coaching, thank goodness, but just asking questions during lives. Somebody once said, I used the sexual energy, but it was muddied or something like that. Well, that only happens if you don't process your mama drama panorama. Okay. When you're ready to use the sexual energy, that energy, the really potent, intense energy purely, there's no backlash. Okay, there's only purity in that it's used to intensify it and speed up the process. That's what it used at. And believe me, listen, I've experimented with this since I was like 17, 18 years old. I just stumbled upon it by accident. Nothing is an accident in that sense, but I felt intuitively the connection between this energy. It's like this explosion of euphoria, okay? And the manifestation power. Like feeling you feel godlike when you're orgasming. You feel like woo, you know what I mean? You're no- on the moon. Some goddamn where you feel amazing. You feel like a god. And if you're able to tap into that from time to time, give yourself the taste of, I mean, some people even report back like you've no doubt watched these near death experience stories where like you it feels euphoric, it feels orgasmic, feels like no worries, pure love, ecstasy, all of this. This is the godlike power. Okay. And I've experimented with this. It works a little too good. It does. You just have to be honest about what it is that you're doing. But excuse me, literally, it will come true verbatim, like how you see it. Visualizing it with senses it helps a lot. It's crazy. It's crazy. If you're directing this energy towards one outcome, again, go with your intuition. Don't be rigid about it. Whether that's a scene, whether that's a conversation, whether that's an object, however. And again, I forgot to mention I teach energy work in my coaching, and there's ways to visualize it and direct it so precisely that, I mean, it's literally mathematical at that point. Okay. When you see, you right now are doing it, you just need to be a little bit more controlled how you're sending this energy out and what is the quality of the energy. Once you are honest and aware of what kind of energy you're sending out towards this person, like, it becomes again a mathematical equation. I send out this came back. But do you yourself know, are you really yourself aware, like what kind of energy is being thrown out towards this person, like 24/7? And in some cases you are not, or in some cases, truth be told, you're sloppy. Okay, or you haven't given yourself the chance to process the mama drama panorama. And this is why the results, you're still kind of angry, you're still resentful, and it's not moving anywhere. The energy is not moving of the resentment, and so nothing really is changing. Okay. But once you become this aware and precise, this is, I'm giving you gold, as I hope that I would. Once you become this deliberate, precise, like a mathematician, like there is no way you're not going to get your result. Okay. And you're not going to have questions like, is it coming now, is it coming then? Like, it's coming, it's inevitable, it's imminent, it's a done deal. As you will, again, intuitively, it will wash over you at some point in this process of creating or connecting to that timeline, however you want to say it, that it was always like this. It was always like this. You were always this powerful. You're just now getting to know your power, getting the taste of this ease. It's easy. It's easy to do it if you know what to do. If you're still confused about what you're doing, what kind of energy you're throwing out, yeah, I agree. It's hard. Like if you're blindfolded in the kitchen, like what the fuck am I cooking? But once your blindfold is off, it's like, oh, I see now. I see what the things that the spices that I put in. No, that was garbage. Now I gotta really do it. I got it now. I got it. I got it. Mm. The other thing, really quick, that I really wanted to mention, you know, like in modeling, I was remembering, like when I first started modeling in Russia, we had like a lot, we had like a training, we had classes, ongoing classes for confidence. Okay, not necessarily that's how I would interpret it today, but we had a class of body movement. Okay, literally a coach would come in once a week and would teach us how to become more, like, appear, at least to be more confident. And he would teach us, the hands, the eyes, the this, the that. This is body language. Okay, so of course, obviously, and of course, ideally, the confidence is coming from the outside. Nevertheless, though, again, acting as if and acting as that person and choosing a new mannerisms, maybe, perhaps, certainly the new version of you who's confident and sassy and classy and sophisticated as fuck, has a different body language, perhaps. Somebody who is more confident, more self assured. You can train yourself, you can teach yourself these things. And I just feel like this is really important because this signals to other people, not just in the physicality, but the kind of impression you leave on people, the kind of nonverbal communication that you give off, right? Even the way you sit, the way you listen, the way your hands are folded on your knees or whatever, the way your hair is, maybe nervousness is like always touching things, touching. No, just relax. You're relaxed. Everything's okay. Every movement doesn't have to be jitter. It's like, no, I'm right here. I'm present. I'm anchored. I'm sophisticated, calm, and collected. So that matters a lot. And again, it's like something to get used to, because you're going to get used to being this new character that exercises their confidence versus is driving themselves crazy being non-confident, and it feels uncomfortable because that's not really who you are. It's very uncomfortable to be not really who you are. Okay, so daily conversations, and of course scripting. This is so important, and we can discuss this in coaching at length. But scripting what they are doing, what they're feeling, what they're thinking. If you're in separation, if you're manifesting them back, again, I can attest to this because this is literal magic. If you know how powerful you are, and if you don't take lightly anything I'm saying to you today, okay, this is as serious as I've ever been. Okay. um Whatever you're scripting about their feelings, thoughts, and actions, even though you don't see them, that's what the fuck they're doing. Just because you've decided, because you are always telling a story, you're always recounting something. And so, again, whatever you're saying is applicable to a certain reality. And so that reality plays out. So it's never that you are not in control. You're so in control that, like, at any split second the story could change, and that story will be true because you've traveled now. So what's the story now? Okay, are you in control of the story? Even if the story is a shit show, you can start being in control of the story, and things can start going your way. All right. But if you feel out of control and you're looking at the shit show and it triggers you, you're not triggering it to change, then you're in deep doo doo. You need some help. Okay. So you can do all of this mentally, right? No manipulation, no crazy shit, just sitting at your drawing board, so to speak, mentally conducting the whole show, like the master magician that you truly were born to be. Number six, calling in action, intensifying. So it's again nothing to do with desperation, nothing to do with uncertainty, nothing to do with impatience, but deliberately following the steps of your inspiration and intuition. Like, am I ready to accept this as normal and natural? Am I ready to intensify it? On a day such as today, am I really ready? Not out of desperation, not out of anything else other than I'm having fun. I'm having fun tapping into this energy, just playing around. So let's just for fun intensify it now so that I can call them to action. Like before, now I've become more confident. I've built this energy, sexual energy, confident energy. I've invested in my processing my mama drama panorama. I'm solid. I'm as solid as a Central Park motherfucking oak tree. Beautiful. Now I can afford intensifying it and calling them into physical action. So I can concentrate on any such given day of thinking about them even 24/7, which by now, as I've mentioned, they're talking back to you in their mind. It's already, the connection has been made with this new version. So are you keeping the connection? And now what do you do? Now this is your opportunity to call them into action. Okay, state what you want. And so, whilst you're thinking about them in an intense way, maybe you're imagining how you spend time together. Maybe it's the love making again. Maybe it's the cooking. Maybe it's some intense things that really produce intense emotions within you. Okay, whatever it is, cannot be lukewarm. You're the one who's going to activate it. You're the one who's basically making them fall in love. Okay, you're the one who's going to call them to action. So let's just say you've been working again on this proposal, that they're madly in love with you, they want to propose to you. Okay, so now it's time. It's showtime. All right, now this is the show that you've been waiting for. You're going to tell them, you know what, I think you want to confess your love to me. And this is, you're going to hold this again, not impatiently, but with precision, with a lot of energy, with benevolence only, not pushing them, not rushing them, not being impatient. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? It's like, I already know that they are of the same mind as I am. Now, it's only a matter of very short period of time that they're going to crack. And so for me, the importance is not even so much that I hold the vibration. This vibration has become my home now, but that I luxuriate. This is the final point, number 7, luxuriating in the unfolding. In other words, I'm confident enough. I've built this energy. I've invested in myself, being that version for whom this is easy. It's now tipped over into, I don't know, 90% at this point. I am confident as fuck that this is exactly what they're thinking. I've seen enough signs. Maybe they've even confirmed it to me themselves through some kind of an action that I've instructed them, like a small, birds before land action. But now we're ready for the juicy stuff. Now we're ready for the proposal. Now we're ready for the apology. And it's just like, you gotta tip them over energetically. Okay. And again, it has nothing to do with manipulation. It's just how much energy are you able to build that they're moved into action. Like, they cannot take anymore the fact that they're not doing anything about it. Like, they feel really compelled to get off their ass, call you, text you, apologize. Some action will be inevitable. Now, again, I'm gonna go back to the same thing I've said already twice in this live. Like, do it responsibly and don't overdo it, in that don't drive yourself crazy, first of all, and don't, like, in the when I was in my whatever teens and early 20s, I would overdo it. I would do it so much, like, the guy would get obsessed over me in not a very healthy manner. Now, again, at that time, my mama drama panorama was not processed, which is what I already mentioned, and this is my warning to you. So it got a little unhealthy kind of situation, and not for nothing. This is, now I can say it used to be one of my fears, that people would get obsessed with me in an unhealthy manner, because it has happened to me so many different times before. So anyway, so that aside, you can 100% move them to action by, in a healthy manner, saying to them, now is the time. You can, like, this is the story now. Okay, the queen or the king has decided it's time. And it's not even like you're asking them to do anything. It's not like it's no permission needs to be given. It's like you just made the decision that the next chapter of this unfolding of your theater is proposal, is apology, is, you're going to script it, you're going to give it to them, you're going to feed it to them with your mind. Like, what else can I tell you? It's so fucking easy. I think the only mind that you have to get a hold of, and I understand completely, darling loves, like, my heart goes out to you, how hard it can be. I've been through identical situations that you're going through, with anxiety, self doubt, insecurity, all of that shit. But your mind is so powerful, it can create magic, just like it can create these horror stories for you. It can create literal magic. This is how powerful it is for you. So don't look for help on the outside, meaning don't look for help in your SP. You can blow their motherfucking mind. Literally, mentally, if you get your shit together upstairs and deliberately, like, measure yourself. Don't be in a rush. Don't be, you know what I mean, comparing yourself with anybody else. All you know is you. Just, where am I at today? Is it believable to me that they will propose to me? If it isn't, just back up and work through all the other steps that I've just discussed. Okay? So that you get yourself and your mind to this condition of, I'm here now. And now I feel empowered to ask them to do whatever. You're not even asking, you're commanding, but not again in a narcissistic sense, like, hey, bitch, come on. No, you're conducting the show, like the orchestra is in your hands. Listen, every single morning that you wake up, if you can just visualize that you are the one conducting the orchestra, you are the one in charge, you're the conductor of the show, you're not a small person, you're the superstar of your life. This will like answer a lot of fucking questions and really set you up for success, something wonderful. I really want you to breathe this faith, believe, potency, power, magic into all of you. Like to wake up to the fact that you're the motherfucking golden Buddha who is unparalleled in power. And you don't ever need to worry, stress yourself out to such a degree where you feel powerless ever again. The power that isn't within your hands. And again, I totally understand you could be going through something right now. You need to process things. This is why the coaching is so helpful if you're open to, to be coached. I mean, sometimes you just need therapy, you just need to vomit shit out. But when you're ready for feedback and addressing the truth and re-engineering your life and being the custom-made Rolls Royce that you are, you need reconfiguration of your engine. Okay, and that takes some bloody honesty, to be honest. I mean, to be honest. It really does. It takes bravery. Not everybody's capable of that. But the results, fucking magnificent, man. I would not be sitting here today. On my life, I would not be sitting here today if this was not true. You could do this too, and you could do this really well. And so, calling into action, intensifying, feeling this intensity in your heart. I mean, I can think of a song right now. I can share. I already shared it on my channel because I really like it so much. I'm into music so much, and I write songs myself. And people all around the world gravitate towards music for a certain kind of feeling. Okay, so whatever that intensity, this power, this in love, this euphoria represents for you without the devastation of it, but actually in a positive manner, and like, this is wonderful. I'm having such a good time being with the perfect version of my SP who is totally 100% the way that I want them to be and more. Go there, whatever that produces for you, intensify it, feel it, and know that you're doing it right now. And then just luxuriate again, number seven, in its unfolding. Nothing needs to happen. You don't need to check social media. All of this, you will look on at YouTube once you really understand this, and you will not find a single video that you need to watch anymore. How's that? Okay. When you truly understand the power of the feeling that's coming out of your heart chakra and how intense this can become and how fast this can happen and how powerful you are, like, forget fucking YouTube videos. Seriously, though. I'm just saying, it will be astonishing to you what you can in the laboratory of your own mind and in your own feelings. You can create a custom made anything completely. All right. So give the power back to yourself. Any questions, guys? Anybody came here with a question today? You're all late. Big thumbs up and big subscribe if you're new. You will truly benefit a lot. Let me just check my notes really quick so that I can make sure that everything was covered. You're never in doubt, ever, ever, or shouldn't be, at the very least, in doubt what is happening right now. What are you doing right now? What is the master puppeteer conducting right now? What are you prepping for? What are you prepping for them? What can turn around right now in this moment that will take your breath away in the most positive sense? What can you create that will complete, like, throw all the old beliefs out the window for you? What kind of manifestation, what kind of change in this person? How big can you dream? Can you go there? Allow yourself, be like a child in a candy store. I want that most perfect version, and just from time to time tap into this most perfect version, have conversations with them, create the playlists, redesign them. If you don't want the fucking beard, that's it. They're shaving the beard. If you want them to quit smoking, they're quitting smoking. If they're becoming like a diehard one woman man or one man woman, that's what the fuck they're becoming. Like as if nothing ever else happened. Simply by you allowing yourself the passport to that reality, to where this is already happening right now, that no orchestration is necessary. You're just orchestrating yourself to go there. The passport to that reality is your own decision, and your own decision only, to deliberately and meticulously with focus to direct the energy only to that timeline. Nothing else over here anymore in that chat show timeline. We don't know that person. We've forgotten all about them. Okay? What I'm puppeteering, what I'm working with, okay, you want to work in a nice environment, what I'm working with is only this version. That's all I know. And the speed with which this can work in your life, again, I come from experience and I can speak to that. It's quite frankly, it will take your breath away. What can I tell you? It will be completely unfathomable to you how this person, and things will change. Like, I don't know how else to say it to you, You will go on social media, let's just say, and maybe there was a post that was contradictory to the new version. That post will disappear, evaporate. Not because they deleted it, because it never existed. Like, literally, the timelines will switch. Okay, let's just say they had this crazy ex-girlfriend or whatever. No, they never had that crazy ex-girlfriend. What are you talking about? I mean, I'm talking about things like that. Okay, where you can literally see, and you can even, not even, but especially, you can decide anything, but you can even decide the sign that will signify to you, oh, this is of that version. This is of that brand new version. I'm putting a mark on them. Again, whatever. No ex crazy girlfriend, no tattoo when I remember the tattoo. There could be myriads of things. Okay? You can decide that, and you alone can be in charge and should be in charge. All right? But again, I want to stress, if you're if you've been on this journey for years and years, and for whatever reason it's not working for you as I'm describing it right now, it's not because I'm making light of it. It's because it's exactly how it should work. And maybe in your case, the reason it hasn't worked is because you're still struggling to find within yourself what's really bothering you about the cycle, the situation. What Something's not being addressed, something's not being changed. And like I said, it's easier done in coaching than like swimming in that soup yourself. You don't see it anymore. It has become invisible to you. It's normal. It's like if you live in the same like house or the same apartment, and the scenery becomes, it's like you don't see it anymore, the details. But another person comes in, it's like, oh yeah, we can reposition the furniture like this and like that, and then you'll have your whatever different setup. You see, it's like that. So don't tire yourself out. It's worth to examine these things, to set yourself up on a new timeline so that you can again continue building in that direction. And again, I cannot describe the ease and the feeling and the energy that comes over you. It's like, again, it's gonna wash over you. Shit, I was always this powerful. It was always this easy. I just needed, again, to make sure I understood how my mind works, right? So no video on planet Earth will teach you that. It's custom made. You're a custom made Rolls Royce. Your mind works differently than another person simply because you're a different person. Different experiences tailor made for you, for your earthly experience. That's it. Once you make good with that and excavate that, process it and learn it, and make good with yourself and accept that power for yourself. Like, it's okay for me to have this power to puppeteer my SP, right? So we're using these words. Again, nothing narcissistic is being meant whatsoever. Just I'm in charge of my SP, just like I'm in charge of the rest of my life, of my finances, this, that, and the other. Why can't I be in charge of an SP? It's only one fucking person, okay? Or anybody else in my 360 world. Only a few people, like I said in the beginning, not necessary to be responsible for everybody in the world. This is enough. Trust me, it is. Okay. This is my dominion. This is my prerogative. I'm going to orchestrate it any which way I want. And I hope that I've imparted this feeling that I'm feeling now, how you're endlessly magnetic, endlessly powerful. It's just a shift of perspective from you're not that timeline you're on, you are any fucking timeline you want to be. So right here, right now, tonight, or whatever time it is in wherever you are in the world, where do you want to go? What kind of version of SP? But most importantly, what kind of person are you to become? And then are you envisioning yourself to be in these circumstances? That you get the marriage, that you get the proposal, that you get every commitment under the motherfucking sun. Who are you in that timeline? And that's the work for you. All right, darlings? All right. All information from me is below. Again, a reminder, a website is back. Everything is fine. Everything's been checked. You need to book a 1 hour session first to be in my coaching. Sign the coaching agreement by hand, date it, print your name, send it back to me in a scanned version document. Only way I will accept it. Okay, please make my life easier. It's just easier for me to save it for my documents. And then after the session, you need to it's just the rules of the game. I'm only one person, can only help that many people. You absolutely need to book the signature coaching package upon conclusion of that session to be in my coaching. I want to be responsible in how many people I manage, that I'm able to channel for everybody in my coaching. That takes energy, as you might understand. And I want to give my all and I want to really help you make a difference in your world because you are investing in you. And I want to definitely invest in you a zillion percent. Okay. If you have any questions before booking, by all means, please reach out. My email is below. Thank you so much for tuning in. Until next time, big kiss, big hug. Ciao, cacao.